Hello everyone, welcome to Jargus Ranger Review. And this time we'll be looking at the 9th episode of Dino Charge, When Logic Fails. And man, it's been a long time since we've done this, hasn't it? Finally good for this show to be back. I really hate shows that have to go on a mid-season hiatus. It just makes the wait all the harder. Anyway, let's get this started. This episode picks up right up from the last one, where Fury has stolen a Vatera charger from Poisandra and destroyed the Ranger's tracking device, so they can't find the meter. Unfortunately, it is powerless without the gold energem, which they don't know where to find. And so they're arguing on Sledge's ship back and forth, till finally Sledge, pissed at Fury failing and for talking bad about his girlfriend, finally just kicks him out. But on his way out, he grabs another monster to come help him with something. Now this is reminding me of another Power Rangers villain, but I can't place in my head who it is. Oh, it'll come to me. I'll probably bring it up in the next episode. Now back on Earth, the Rangers are talking about what their next step to do is. And Koda is very hungry. Take note of that. And while they're talking, Riley, whose name I had actually forgotten because it's been so long until they said it, was messing about with some kind of marbles things, going down chutes and ending in a thing. There's probably a name for it, but I really have no idea what it is. Anyway, he says they need to use logic. Says that there are 3 groups right now that all have different motivations, but they're all going for the same goal, to find the gold energem. So they begin to form a plan from there. But elsewhere, Puzzler, that's the name of the monster that Fury took, and there's nothing impressive to me about his design, so I'll skip over it. For some reason he has a giant version of chess placed outside, and he watches some kids play with it, and it pisses him off so much that he goes and challenges them, and of course they run away. But nearby, Fury somehow got wrenched with him, and he's trying to use the old medical equipment to somehow power up the Vatera charger. And of course Wrench thinks he can't do it, but Fury, being as aggressive as he is, doesn't allow him to get away from it and makes him still help him. Really makes you wonder what he plans to do. But before this mystery can be developed further, Chase comes across the kids running from Puzzler and he gets knocked over, along with the pizza he was carrying. You poor bastard, Chase. So they actually have a pretty entertaining unmorphed battle, where they're trying to hit each other with the chess pieces. I found that to be pretty funny, and also a pretty good fight for not being morphed. But fortunately, the other 4 Rangers arrive to help out, and Puzzler calls those odds illogical and flees. Of course the Rangers pursue him, but what he does inside before they catch up is he makes some doors vanish, he makes new walls, he makes the map be pretty much unreadable and complicated looking, and basically turns everything the Rangers go to in a loop, an endless loop actually, so pretty much an infinite maze that they can't escape from, unless they start tearing down the walls, which they don't. And to make matters worse, he turns the thermostat all the way down to make the place freezing. And I mean very freezing. Everything starts frosting over. But then Koda, still hungry, sees a vending machine with one last pack of cookies in it, and he spends his whole time there trying to get it out, but with no luck. But now Riley sees a ventilation shaft and opens it, and sees how it splits off in like 3 ways. And his vision, he sees like the numbers of all the angles going by. I don't know what that's about, but he definitely has a really strong analytical side, where he's measuring distance and stuff like that. And so as he goes there, he sees Fury's chest glow when the machine is turned on, and he's watching it above from the shaft. Apparently whatever that weird thing that was coming out of him before, he's using it to power up the charger. But he makes Wrench stop it because he starts to feel like he's losing control of it. And still, we have no idea what that is. Whatever that mystery is, it's gonna have some big payoff later on, I know it. And eventually he makes it to the top and spies on Fury and Puzzler. Fury is taken off with the charger to find a Pterosaur, and Keno talks to him and he says the charger comes first. But Riley looks really conflicted, and he just says in almost a whisper that he can't leave his friends behind. Meanwhile, the other Rangers are kind of losing hope, and freezing to death. So yeah, I think you're making a good call, Riley. Because even if you do get that charger back, you can't do too much as a solo ranger. Unless you're Tyler, because he can just ram something into the enemy. So he challenges Puzzler to some sort of puzzle challenge. I have no idea what it is, but it's some sort of weird form of chess on platforms. I've never really seen that before. So they're just moving pieces, and I have no idea if it looks good or not. But they're talking back and forth, and while he's seeing his numbers in his head again. And for some reason he has some marbles from earlier with him, and he tosses them into the ventilation shafts from the roof. So they bounce down and they hear it, at which point it gives them the motivation to keep going on and to go through the shafts to find a way out, since running on the floors is getting them absolutely nowhere. And finally the team unites on top, and they easily dispatch Puzzler. And I like the bit of dialogue they had. Puzzler says he lost, but he says that wasn't a game he was playing. The game was to reunite the team. What is this, no game, no life? Or no ranger, no life is more like it. But that was pretty damn clever. Of course, right after that, Fury has found a Pterazord, and the Rangers have to fight a group of Vivics that they always defeat easily. And of course they're not going to let another Zord destroy the city, so they create the Megazord to challenge it. Problem is, Sledge is watching above and uses Magna Beam to grow Puzzler to make things even harder for the Rangers. And Puzzler is still a pushover. He ends up getting blasted towards the Pterazord, and that Zord uses, I think it's an electrical looking attack, and that destroys Puzzler, and Fury takes its gem back, so that he can continue controlling it. And then of course, he returns to Sledge, and they hit off right while he walks him back and starts just chatting up with him about the Energem and the Zord and such. And he was talking to Cassandra, and she just ended up bumping into the door that they walked through. So she's feeling ignored. I don't see Curio at all. Where did he go? Now back on Earth, Riley and Tyler are talking about that weird energy thing coming from Fury's chest. They don't know what it is either, and they're afraid of what it could be. So they're basically determined to end things as fast as they can. And then the episode just ends. Now, I really enjoyed this episode, though its name is kind of a lie, because logic didn't fail. Riley's logic won the day. He just hid what it was until the very end. But I can't hold it against the writers, it keeps it an intrigue to call it when logic fails. Well, Puzzle's logic failed, if they want to be accurate, so I guess that works. Now, there's nothing too notable about this so far, because this was pretty much a Riley episode, all about him. Because before, his episodes have been about him and Chase. And that's not bad, we got to see another side of him, besides the one that was always super serious. And it also proves that he's getting more attached to the team. Coda, I wish they did something with him other than just make him hungry all the time. Because there's so much they can do with that character, and they just made him a background joke for this episode. I have to really see him shine later on. And as for the main plot, this did a great job of continuing it. Not even that, it puts the Rangers at an even bigger disadvantage, because now the enemy has a Zord and an Energem that they can use how they please. And they still have what they've always had. Plus, Fury's thing is taking on new elements, so that's definitely going to be something to watch out for, especially as his rivalry with Cassandra keeps on growing. Something's going to lead to a final conflict between those two, and I'm sure that's going to be something amazing. So, yeah, this was a solid episode through and through. Nothing really to comment about that was really bad. Well, there wasn't much of fighting scenes, but they kept the tension and the story going so strong that it wasn't needed. Just because it's an action show does not mean you need big action scenes in every episode, because this proved it can still be good. And now I'm really looking forward to how they continue this plotline, which will probably be wrapped up in the next episode. And I'll see you for that one. Until then, I'm Jargus Zero. Thanks for watching, and let the power protect you.